Now, for this decision in depth, I want to look at an endgame situation in a deck that is rapidly falling apart. And, why is it rapidly falling apart? Well, let's see some context for the kingdom. This kingdom is definitely lacking in something. It has some village. Recruiter and Procession are both villages. Has Draw, Masquerade, Menagerie, some other stuff. The one thing it is really lacking in is Gains. Your only thing that even looks like Gains is Altar. And Altar is not actually plus Gains. It's a remodel. Potentially you could play it from empty hand, but if you look here, coins are definitely lacking in the kingdom, and so probably you're playing with treasures. Altar from an empty hand when you're buying things with treasures is not going to be something that works very well. And so you're really limited on Gains. There is an Alt VP card in Groundskeeper. And Gains limited kingdoms, especially ones with cost limited sort of Gains. Groundskeeper is really, really appealing. The kingdom's probably going to be slow enough, just given that lack of Gains, that Groundskeeper can work. You can accumulate a bunch of these, get some green cards, and work from there. Maybe Altar can be milling your green cards so that you can keep getting points without really messing up your deck too badly. And so, with that said, we've accumulated a little point lead. The way that has happened, and the way that reason that the deck is rapidly deteriorating, because the way that you can do that is that you can Procession your Groundskeepers to get a few extra points. The Groundskeepers split evenly here, and so you can kind of get a 1 or 2 turn boost by Processioning Groundskeeper to be able to accumulate a little bit of a point lead. And so that's what's been happening. Clearly Groundskeeper's out, Duchies are out, and we're going to have to figure out how we're going to be ending this game. There's a couple options. Province is probably not really a good option. It's going to be slow. We'd have to buy gold in this case. It's unclear if we'd even be able to draw the gold. We barely drew deck here. In fact, we didn't. We were 1 card short. There's a Groundskeeper in the discard that we didn't get to. But we'd have to be buying gold. And with a fewer Groundskeepers, now that we've been Processioning ours, our opponent has not been participating in the Processioning. Province over the course of how many turns is not going to look good for us. They're going to be able to accumulate more points off their more Groundskeepers. Maybe they're even drawing a little bit better, and we're probably going to lose that way. Could try to go after one of these other piles. Altar is particularly low. I don't really know how we'd get Altar. We'd have to be Processioning these things. We'd have to be buying Altar. Certainly we're going to lose in that time to an opponent that's buying stuff that's green. And so probably we have to go after something else that's going to score at the same time, which is going to be Estates. And so we have to figure out how we're going to get lots and lots of Estates really, really fast. Fortunately, there is Altar here. Like, we're not really attached to these Duchies. They're not the things that are doing the scoring. It's the VP tokens that are doing the scoring. And so, we'd probably be willing to be altering Duchy into Estate. That's fine. But if we're going to be getting lots and lots of Estates really fast to, not be losing to our opponent's Groundskeepers, we're going to have to do some gaining and playing. Procession Groundskeeper into Altar. You can play 2 Altars that turn. You can buy another Estate. And so, over the course of 2 or 3 turns, we can probably empty his estate pile and get enough points out of it to close this thing out. And so the one problem with that, with the deck currently as it is the gaining and playing. We're going to need some draw, because right now, we barely got to the end of our deck. Menagerie is becoming a pretty ineffective draw card. And so, what are our other options? There's Masquerade. Problem with Masquerade, it'd be okay, we have some villagers accumulated, we can probably deal with that. Problem with Masquerade is you have to pass something, and what in here do we want to pass? Really not a whole lot, if we're passing Duchy or gold, we're certainly taking away our ability to be getting one of these things. If we're passing Urchin or any of these cantrips, we're kind of messing up our own draw this turn, and especially Urchin, discard attack here is actually being fairly significant. And so that's not really a good option. There's Patrician. That looks pretty good right now. We have only 2 things in deck that are costing less than 5, but eventually if we want to be doing this gaining and playing like Altar and Estate, we're going to want something that can draw Estate, because there's going to be Altars and Estates in the discard pile. We're going to want to be able to draw both of them, alter the estate into another estate, and Patrician has a lot of potential to fail on that. So the last option, which is the one that we should be buying, is going to be Apprentice here. although it's a destructive draw card, the hope is that we'll have enough to do it. We have these duchies that, again, we don't care the most about. And we're going to be processioning to some altars that maybe we can't be playing, so maybe we can be apprenticing altar. And in that case, over the course of the next 2 turns, hopefully we'll draw enough, be able to do our gain and play thing, and go ahead and empty those estates. So buy here is apprentice.